Hello, welcome back to the second episode. This is podcast episode 12 and also part 2 to Mike Auton's amazing interview. And here Mike who should be explaining, giving more grounded advice on how young people should break it out there. So those who've captured part 1, now this is for you, part 2. So enjoy this episode. Bye.
Failure is the process.
Failure is part of the program, huh? You don't expect it to come in.
It's like entrepreneurship is, for me at least, listen, I'm not massively successful. I've had successes that have paid big time when they've been successful, but I could talk to you all day about my failures, and I could talk to you for an hour or two about my successes. Like far more failures, far more ventures that seemed good on paper, just didn't work out. I've had some big stuff on paper, just didn't pan out. I lost 3 months, 6 months, hired staff, had to fire them, offices, had to shut them down, all kinds of things, man. And that's just in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and these are the things that people don't see. People see you as a success, but they don't see
how
what's
they
behind
see
it.
Man. I really don't. I think a lot of people maybe even think I'm crazy.
No, you're not.
You know?
You're there shining, and you're sharing lots of wealth with everyone. You're one of those influencers out there that's sharing true positivity. Lots of people out there are just masking what somebody else is saying, but you're there just selling from what you see, what you saw, and what you touched.
Yeah,
so,
I just speak my truth.
Exactly.
If a lot of my content, almost all of it, is not planned. Yeah. Like I just have a feeling I should say something to the camera, and I say it. Yeah. That's it. That's my content strategy.
Just say intuition. That's what you mentioned earlier on.
Listen, man, grossly underrated. Intuition for me is everything. Like I have this whole kind of like posting schedule for social media, but if I really feel I should be making a video, like it has to be made that second. What I'll often do is just, it doesn't matter if it's like 3 a.m, I'll just post that on Instagram or whatever. And those videos where it's in that moment where I feel I'm supposed to say it, I'm supposed to post it, it gets posted immediately. They've been some of my huge successes on social at random times, like totally like illogical times to post, and huge success.
Yeah, because it's the content that you're posting that's kicking it off, not the timing, not the technical.
It's the timing of the content.
Right. It's when you post it and when people want to receive it.
When I mean, listen, man, this is all a bit kind of like airy fairy, but when the universe is ready to receive it, you know, it's like, for me, it's like, I'm not asking questions about, you know, is my audience asleep? I'm just like, this needs to be posted. It's 3:12 in the morning. This needs to be posted at 3:12 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Post it 3. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for that. Michael, there's one thing that I'd like to speak to you about that I couldn't speak to my previous interviewee, because it's a bit more on the creative side of things.
Yeah.
For me personally, I find that on a 9-to-5 job, you're just there to do a mundane job. There's a set of procedures you execute based on the rules.
It's not mundane. Some 9-to-5s are great.
Yeah. But then for me, like being an engineer, we execute based on procedures, rules, and regulation. There's no room for creativity. It's not like I'm going to build a bridge that's runs around in a circle. I'm not going to build a skyscraper that bends forward. You know, there's rules and regulations. But then I find a lot of creativity from my second and third job. I can do it by myself. I can try different things that nobody. Yeah. So can you share with us about how important creativity is for entrepreneurship, doing something different?
How creativity is everything. I mean, it was Einstein who said, you know, without imagination, nothing would exist.
Yeah.
Right? Everything comes from your imagination. Like Apple came from imagination. The theory of relativity came from imagination. Yes. I mean, what more do you want, man? It's like everything came by a guy, or a woman, in a garage, like just like believing in something, having a vision. I mean, how many of those images have you seen of incredible businesses that were started from a garage? Mattel, Disney, Apple. I mean,
Yeah.
the list goes on. It's endless, all from a garage.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't tell me that you're surrounded by old cars, transistor radios,
Yeah.
um, computer parts, old PCs. I mean, that's you need imagination for that to
Yes.
become. I mean, it's insane the imagination you need to make that happen. The vision for that. It's all
Yeah. Yeah.
vision, imagination,
It's all
belief,
visual what you see.
intuition. But it's also a lack of choice.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think you can choose to be an artist. I
Yeah.
don't think you can choose to be a musician, and I don't think until now, where entrepreneurship has become more cool, and a lot of people who shouldn't be entrepreneurs are trying it out, which
Yeah.
I'm cool with,
Yeah.
but it's not really their thing.
Yeah.
Like until now, I don't think you really chose to be an entrepreneur. I think it's just in you or it's not.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I heard from Gary Vee as well. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a purebred entrepreneur, you could have done it when you're 18. You don't have to wait till you're
Yeah, you see, I don't know if I'm as purebred as someone like Gary Vee, but
yeah.
when I was 13, I was working. I
Yeah.
had the paper round, so I was delivering newspapers. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a thing in the US as well, where you kind of like deliver
Yeah.
newspapers and stuff. So I did that. When I was 15, I was working in the shop where I delivered the newspapers. When I was 18, I was bartending. It's like while I was studying my
Yeah.
final year of university, I had a full-time job as a bartender.
Mm.
So entrepreneur, no, but hardworking, a love of the freedom that money gave me,
Yes.
an ability, a willingness to roll my sleeves up and get stuff done. But
Yeah.
I wasn't selling like the baseball cards, or it would be football or soccer cards where I'm from. I wasn't that type of person. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think the reason for that, looking back, is partly because it wasn't in my DNA, and also because I didn't see anyone else doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one else. I didn't have that environment. Like my
Yes.
environment was teachers. All of my family are teachers, and the
Right.
only people I knew were kids of teachers or teachers. That was
Yeah.
it.
I see. It's all about the influence around you, and you have to
I
rediscover
think so.
yourself.
I think your environment's important.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I agree with you on that as well. And if for like the younger listeners, or if I don't know if I've got any younger listeners, but for like my cousins and all who are transitioning through high school to university, as an entrepreneur, so what advice would you give to people going to education? Because I speak to younger guys, and all I think is about going to the right university, getting the right degree, and then you'll be sorted for life. But I
Listen,
personally, I don't think it's right. I've stayed uni for a long, long time, Mike.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
looking back, I'm going to tell my kids, if you get a job at 18, make lots of money, just go for it. University is not the best.
Yeah, listen, man. I want my kids to be happy.
Hmm.
I want them to do what makes them happy. I want them to follow their intuition, not make fear-based decisions.
Yeah.
If they want to be a student, that's fine. I would like it ideally so
Yeah.
that I say to them, listen, if you want to study, that's fine, but I'm going to show you one way or several ways of making money so you can pay for yourself. If you really want this, then you're paying for this. I'm not
Yeah.
paying for it. Why
Yeah.
would I pay for you to go to university? I personally don't believe in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't want to push my world vision, life vision onto my kids. They've got to go their own way. They've got to do
Yeah.
their own thing. So they want to study, fine. They want me to pay for it. Sorry, it's not happening.
Yes. You
It's
have
not
to earn it
happening.
your own
I
two
don't,
ways.
unless you're going to be like something vocational, dentist, lawyer, doctor. University makes sense for these people. They can't practice without that piece of paper and without
Yeah.
that training. I get it. You want to be a marketer? get a job with a marketing company or
Yeah.
start selling stuff like Gary Vee does. You know, it's like marketing and sales, two sides of the same coin. You wanna understand the world of marketing. You know, go to a famous marketer who you admire and
Yeah.
work for them for a year for free. Have a crappy job if you need to have a crappy job that pays your rent. Listen, man, that 1 year, you're going to learn much more than you would learn in 4 years at
4 years.
university.
I was
The
gonna
issue
say.
I have with most universities is the courses aren't really designed to prepare you for the real world. They're designed
Exactly.
by academics who've never actually been active in the real world. When I was a teacher, secondary teacher, I had this realization that teachers don't know the thing they're teaching. The business teacher heard that I was, doing the online marketing. This is while I was a French and German teacher, and he comes
Yeah.
up to me and he asks me about my business, asking me all these questions. I'm looking at him thinking, "You're a business teacher who's never had a business." That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Yeah.
dealing with. So you have a guy teaching people how to do a thing that he's never done.
He's never done before.
That for me is the metaphor for most degrees, most universities, most courses. But I don't like these super broad brushstrokes. Like for some people it makes sense. But I think when I think back to the way things were probably in the 80s in the UK, where maybe 5% of people went to university,
Yeah.
there was something in that. There was something in that. I think probably about 5% of people should go to uni, but not
Yes.
50, not
Yes.
70, and not like some random university giving you some random degree that gets you nothing but debt. It's the debt. That's
Yes.
the killer. That's where I am tempted to use the word scam, where
Yeah.
someone says to you, "Come to us, get a piece of paper, you'll be better off for it," and all you have at the end of it is 4 years of useless experience that no employer values and a ton of debt. That for me is a
Yeah.
scam. That for
Yes.
me is just shocking.
Yeah.
And I would question, and I want someone to tell me, why are you going to uni? Why? And I want them to have a really, really good answer. And if the answer is, I want to have fun, that's a really good answer.
Yeah. It's the best time of your life to have
That's
fun.
okay. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But if they understand they're going to have 100 grand debt or 50 grand debt or something, having had those 3 or 4 years of fun, and they're cool with it, okay, okay,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I see where you're coming from. It's true. It's true. That is a huge thing. Okay. Okay. And the other thing I was going to touch base with you, which obviously you are good at it, networking.
Yeah, I've got
You know,
better recently.
yeah. Networking is not a skill that you can learn from books. It's not a skill you can learn from school. Maybe you can learn from somebody, but are there any networking skills that you have experienced that's not on paper, that's different, that you think, hey, it works and it helps me with my business or my development?
Listen, I'm an introverted extrovert, right? I think I'm like a lot of people. I can do the whole meet people, strike up a conversation, find something interesting to talk about, be genuinely interested in the person I'm talking to. But if I had to spend a whole year in the house by myself, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I do stuff when it feels right, but it's not like I'm like this natural or burning need to meet
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
I'm the networking. The best networking advice I can give anybody is
Yeah.
find some people who inspire you
Okay.
and try and become, without being desperate, try and become a part of their world. And I don't mean force yourself into it, but try and find a way where you can become a part of that world. I've become more active in my local community amongst the business people, the entrepreneurs in the last, not that long, six
Yeah.
to 9 months. And it's had a huge impact on my life and on my business,
Yeah.
in terms of personal satisfaction, in
Mm.
terms of money, in terms of connections. I've done a few different things. I've joined a group called BNI, and
Okay.
BNI is it's designed so that the members of BNI get to know each other, get to like
Mm.
each other, get to trust
Mm.
each other, all from different areas of expertise and business types. And the idea is that you help each other grow your business through referrals.
Yeah.
So we've got this new group called BNI Connection, that's in the Lisbon area of Portugal.
Yeah.
And we meet up once a week and we tell each other what we're looking from our business. We tell the group how we would like the group to find people for us to grow our business. And while there's no obligation for anybody to do anything for anybody, it's working really well. And the business that I'm now a partner in, New Show TV, largely came about because of that group.
Mm. I see. I see. And that's where you met them, and then.
Well, it's not exactly where I met my partner, but it's where our accelerated the speed of our relationship, our business
Right.
relationship. So it was good. But yeah, I've also met some of the top entrepreneurs in the local area.
Yeah.
I've helped them out
Yeah.
for free
Yeah.
on occasion, continue to do so, just made myself valuable to them. And they're now friends.
Yeah.
When you're looking at people, when you're hanging out with people who are further ahead than you, not necessarily older, but in this case, a little older, a little wiser, done things in a way that I've never done them, you learn an awful lot. You learn the nice thing about them as well is they're humble guys. They're doing things meaningfully. They're not just
Yeah.
chasing money. So it's
Yeah.
like when you surround yourself with that type of person, it gives you more of a blueprint for the type of person you want to become.
Thank you very much for that. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's what they say.
Yeah.
It's, slight cliche, but very true. Your network is your net worth.
Wow. I'm gonna posterize that. Your net worth is your network. Thank you very much for that, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I've taken 45 minutes of your time, Mike.
That's all good.
How how do you visualize yourself in the next 5 years and where you and your business would be?
Too
What you
far
achieve
off.
is too far off.
I can't even visualize the next year. Listen, if you'd told me 6 months ago that I'd be working, I mean, I've not mentioned this. I'm
Mm.
working at the moment with Frank Kern and Grant Cardone. Um, I mean, I wouldn't have known how that was possible.
Well,
But
yeah.
now I'm working with them on some stuff. And if you'd have told me that I would have been partner in a news show company, I mean, I'd have just been questioning how that was possible.
Yeah.
So 5 years, I mean, 5 months, I can't even see that far ahead. Right now, like all I'm doing right now, because I'm really in the trenches right now. I think if we have this conversation in 5 years, I might be in a more strategic position
Yeah.
where I have a team, where I have people under me who
Yeah.
I delegate tasks to,
Yes.
who helped me grow my vision faster and more meaningfully and more profitably, or not even more profitably maybe, or maybe just generating more revenue, because you never know where you're going to be, whether you
Yeah.
need to create more profit or more revenue to grow.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe that's something that I can see, but
Mm.
I'm just because I'm so in the trenches right now, because I'm like just working so hard. Every day is a new chapter in my life. Every day,
Really?
new doors are opening. Like
Yeah.
the news show thing, like I'm now. I mean, that's not like we're best friends, but like I'm now like connected with the Minister of Economy for Portugal
Yeah. Yes, I
since
see the video. Yeah.
since yesterday. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, like I say, we're not best buddies, but we're
He knows
connected
who
on
you are.
we're connected on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We've communicated. We've
Yeah.
talked, and it's like, okay, well, what's going to come out of that? Like,
Yes.
it's like now since yesterday, we maybe have a client in South Africa. What's going to come out of that?
You wouldn't know. Yeah.
You know, we're working with the World Trade Centers. We've got a few of them as clients lined up. What's going to come out of that? I mean, literally, I just don't know. I mean, the whole Frank and Grant Cardone thing, if anyone listening's in the marketing space, I've been working with those guys. What's going to come out
Yeah.
of that? So 5 years, I don't even know about 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Things are
I just
changing
don't
so
know,
fast in
man.
your world just now. Your
I'm,
5 weeks is like somebody else's 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. In a way, yeah, because it's kind of like I'm just insanely open to opportunity and to um I'm in the yes business.
Yes.
Like it's really hard for my family right now. It's really hard for my relationship right now. It's tough, but I'm in the yes business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if someone asks me a question, the answer 99% of the time is yes. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what the question is because shit man, I'm just hungry for success. I'm hungry for whatever the world is giving me. I'm
Yeah.
hungry for it. And I'm just like I'll begin the filtering process in the next year or two maybe.
Yeah.
But right now, the answer is just yes.
Yes. Just gonna go. Make it now. Do it now. Kill it now. Good stuff. Good stuff. Mike, before we go, thank you very much for your time. You've covered a lot of topic, a lot of ground. Before you go, have you got any famous last words for young entrepreneurs who's listening to this, who wants
Yeah, listen, man,
inspiration from a
I'm
big man
super,
like you?
super interested in helping young people, young entrepreneurs, but I'm equally interested in helping anybody, any age, because as a young person, and I'm speaking to young people now,
Yeah.
if you're 20s, 30s, like the game hasn't even started. You can make mistakes for the next 20 years and still be young. You think that's old and you're wrong. Young, your age is your mindset.
Mm.
It's if you're always learning, if you're always developing, if you're always open to the next new thing, you won't get old. Okay, so you won't be old in 15, 20 years. So just make a ton of mistakes, go and work
Yes.
for free, for cheap, with insanely inspiring people. If they aren't around where you are not a tree, you don't have roots in the ground. Move,
Yeah.
go. If you've got a, I mean, I've done this and this works for me. Buy a one-way ticket, give yourself no choice but to succeed when you get there. I have
Yeah.
lived that. I have done that. I have been successful that way. It's insane. It's risky.
Yeah.
What's the worst case scenario? What the worst case scenario in that scenario is you run out of money and have to get a job to get your plane ticket home or to the next place. Just live life on the seat of your pants. Don't be logical. Don't make fear-based decisions. There's no such thing, unless you're a doctor, lawyer, whatever, as a career. Careers were for your parents or your parents' parents. I've had 3 significant jobs. I have had, I don't know how many addresses, I don't know how many different start overs, how many failures, still here, still okay. nice family, nice house, nice car.
Yeah.
I could lose it all tomorrow. I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with it, but I'm okay with it. Right? Just live your life. Take some risks. Have a backup plan. My backup plan when I was a young adult was I could bartend. Right? When you can bartend, you can
Yeah.
feed yourself. Right?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. You can pay the rent, you
Yes,
can
yes,
feed
yes,
yourself,
yes,
right? So I
yes,
believe in safety nets. My safety net was I can bartend, I can make cocktails anywhere in the world, so I'm good.
yes,
Okay? For young people, that's my advice. For old people, and if you're 35, you think you're old. If you're 65, you think you're old. Whatever. If you think you're old, you're not. If you think the game's over, it's not. If you think you can't reinvent yourself, you're wrong. If you think you can't be successful, you're wrong. I saw this meme
yeah,
yesterday, I think, where
yeah,
it showed 4 or 5 people who were hugely successful in from their 40s and 50s.
yeah, yeah,
Kentucky Fried Chicken guy, Colonel
yes,
Sanders,
yeah,
Disney guy, I forget the
yes,
list. All these insanely successful people started in their 40s
late
and 50s.
40s. Yeah.
Started. Warren, I want you to Google this Warren Buffett money. You know what a hockey stick is, right? You know what
Mm.
it is, of course,
Yeah.
Alex, right? You're in the finance world.
Yeah.
His money, I know it's a lot, but think about it. It could
Yeah.
be, it doesn't have to be millions. It can be hundreds or thousands. His money was something like for decades, 20 million, 21 million, 19 million, 23 million, 30 million, 33 million, 17 million. And it did that for about 20 years. And then it went billions.
Boom.
It just went boom in his
Yes.
40s, I think, right?
Yes.
This success that I think we're talking about here isn't about money. It isn't linear. It isn't a straight line. It isn't logical. Your barrier to success is you. Your
Yeah.
barrier to success is the voices in here. Maybe it's
Yeah.
your husband. Maybe it's your wife. Maybe it's your mum. Maybe it's your dad. Maybe it's what you've been told your whole life. But
Yeah.
in a lot of cases, it's here.
It's
You
there.
can reprogram your brain through meditation. You can reprogram your brain through mantras, through you go onto YouTube, you can even get hypnotism and all these
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
neural reprogramming stuff. You can reprogram your brain. You can. So
Yes.
do it.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, that was mind blowing. I really like your advice. Thank you very much. It's you reprogramming me just now, you know? Yeah, so Mike, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate your time.
I
And
like you, man. It's my pleasure, man. I
this
think,
last
Alex, I think you're going to be. I think you're going to be really successful, man. And I think you're going to be really successful because of your work ethic.
Thank you very much, Mike. And I really, watching your journey, and I hope all my listeners, you have to connect with Mike. He is huge on Instagram, and he's also huge on LinkedIn. I'm not. Are you on Facebook as well, Mike? Do you want to
I'm
share the
everywhere, man.
viewers?
I'm
You're everywhere.
even
Yeah.
trying to be on TikTok, but
TikTok.
My God, I don't know what to do with TikTok.
I know.
But this time next year, I'll be all over it.
We're all over it. Thank you, man. So I hope you listeners, I'll leave a link below on how to connect with Mike and how you can follow him and learn about the things that you've done. He's the man and the legend in the making. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate your time. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Take it easy, my friend.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.